So here's the situation. This Sunday feels like the most important divisional game the Chiefs have played in a while. You can feel it. Standings-wise, this one carries heavy weight. Right now, the Chiefs sit in third in the division, and the math is ugly if they slip up again. Win this one and they keep themselves very much alive for the division. Lose it, and they're staring at a long, messy fight for a wildcard spot. That's the emotional texture for the week. Everything feels a little higher stakes than normal. Part of why this matchup matters so much is how both teams have been winning. The Broncos are the definition of grinding it out. 8 of 10 games decided by one score, and they've found ways to win those close affairs. Denver's defense is elite in nearly every phase. Third down, red zone, and they lead the league in sacks. This is not a team you take lightly. Contrast that with the Chiefs' profile this season. When Kansas City wins, they've often done it by larger margins. Their 5 wins have come by double-digit scores. But when it's tight, they've been on the wrong side of late-game sequences. The Chiefs have lost all 4 one-score games. So if you're watching for the difference maker this week, it comes down to execution in those pressure moments. Can Kansas City make the single play or series that flips a one-score game in their favor? That's why the offensive line news is huge. If the Chiefs can be as close to 100% up front as possible, Mahomes gains extra time to work through his progressions and the offense can stay balanced. And balance matters here. The Broncos defend the run very well, but if the Chiefs can pick their spots to run early and protect Mahomes the right way, they force Denver to show more on defense and open up passing windows later. Another key element is confidence, not just on the field, but in the coaching staff. Andy Reid's teams historically come out of the bye strong. Reid is 22-4 after a bye in his HC career. That's a big reason to feel optimistic heading into a divisional road trip. The bye gives time to rest, but it also gives time to tune the little things that decide close games. Red zone reps, protection calls, and situational work. Now I want to hear from you straight away. Do you feel confident the Chiefs can win in Denver this Sunday? Yes or no? Drop a one-word answer in the comments and tell me why in one quick sentence. While you type that, do me a favor. Hit the like button if you're feeling fired up, and subscribe so we can hit our channel goal of 6,000 subscribers. Also smash that bell so you don't miss injury updates later this week. Alright, next up, I'll walk you through the injury reports and why the latest practice participation notes could swing the game. But before I move on, what matters most to you in a divisional road game? The line of scrimmage, turnover margin, or clock management? Say line, turnovers, or clock in the comments so I can feel the room. Now let's talk about what every Chiefs fan wanted to hear this week. Actual good news on the injury front. For once, the list is trending in the right direction, and that alone feels like a mid-season miracle. Coming off the bye, the team looks healthier than it has in weeks, especially at one position group that desperately needed it: the offensive line. The biggest headline is Josh Simmons. He's back. After several weeks away from the team for personal reasons, Simmons returned to practice as a full participant. And that's massive. We're talking about a potential starting left tackle stepping into the fire against a Denver defense that leads the NFL in sacks. You couldn't script a tougher welcome back assignment, but this is exactly the kind of boost Kansas City needs. Andy Reid said it plainly. Simmons is back, he'll jump in, and we'll see what he can do. That's classic Reid, cautious, but confident. He wants to see how Simmons handles the week, how his conditioning looks, and whether he's ready to roll by Sunday. If you ask me, I think Simmons plays. The magnitude of this game, the need for stability on the blind side, it all points that way. Patrick Mahomes is clearly excited to have him back too. He mentioned it to the media, that having Simmons out there changes everything about how they can protect. how they can adjust schemes, and how they can vary looks at the line. Mahomes has trust in both Simmons and Jalen Moore. But let's be real, Simmons' ceiling is higher, and against Denver's front, every bit of talent helps. It's also encouraging to see Trey Smith practicing fully after dealing with that back issue. And Jawan Taylor's ankle looks fine after the Bills game. This line finally has a chance to be as close to full strength as we've seen in weeks. And that matters, because Denver's defensive line is built to feast on mismatches. Nick Bonitto, Jonathan Cooper, Zach Allen, they're all having career seasons. You can't afford weak spots. Up front, if Simmons can stabilize the left tackle spot, it frees Mahomes to stay patient and go through his reads, something he admitted he lost track of against Buffalo. A cleaner pocket means more rhythm, more big plays, and fewer of those desperate scrambles where he's trying to create magic on every snap. So let me ask you, who do you trust more at left tackle this week? Josh Simmons or Jalen Moore? Drop your vote in the comments and tell me why. I'm really curious where you stand on that one. And if you're loving these breakdowns, don't forget, hit that subscribe button and help us reach our goal of 6,000 subscribers. Click the bell so you don't miss the next update when the final Friday injury report drops. All right, next we're flipping sides. Because while the Chiefs are getting healthier, the Broncos, they're running out of bodies fast. Okay, now let's flip the script and look at Denver. Because on paper they're elite. But the injury report this week introduces real cracks in that armor. The Broncos' defense is still terrifying on paper. Best third down and red zone defense, league-leading sack numbers, and nasty against the run. But they're going to be missing some key pieces that change the matchup dynamics. First, Pat Sertan-Buseku, PS2. He's very likely out. Losing your top corner is huge when you're trying to control an offense that can stretch the field. Even if the secondary has depth, Sertan's presence removes big play chances and lets you play more aggressive, help-over-the-top schemes. Without him, the Chiefs can be more confident attacking vertically or scheming isolation throws that test whoever fills in. The linebacking core takes a hit too. Alex Singleton, the defense's green dot play caller last season, is out after a recent medical procedure. That's not just about missing a good tackler. It's about losing the guy who makes checks and adjustments on the field. When a team loses that on-the-field coach, it shows up in blitz, timing, gap responsibility, and reaction to motion. The Broncos still have playmakers, but they lose a layer of intelligence and leadership out there. On offense, J.K. Dobbins not practicing is a major blow. Denver leans on the run more than Kansas City does, and Dobbins is their lead back. If he's limited or inactive, Denver's ability to chew clock and sustain long drives drops substantially. Remember, the Broncos already struggle with overthrows, an elite number of 3-and-outs, and too many drops. Take away Dobbins, and that third and short conversion rate likely worsens, which plays right into the Chiefs' hands. There are other smaller absences. Jonah Ellis with a hamstring and Trent Sherfield dealing with a toe issue. Those one-pop plays and depth snaps matter late in games. Meanwhile, Marvin Mims has been in and out of concussion protocol, but was listed as a full go most recently. So Denver's wide receiver group has some moving parts, but it isn't completely depleted. Here's how it all stacks up. Denver's pass rush is still a monster. They're on pace for a record sack season, so you can't sleep on their front seven. But missing Sertan, Singleton, and Dobbins forces them to rely more on schematic pressure and younger backups in key roles. That combination can create exploitable windows if Kansas City's O-line holds up and Mahomes stays patient. Quick question for you. Which Broncos absence worries you most? Their cornerback, Sertan, their play caller, Singleton, or their lead back, Dobbins? Type corner, play caller, or back in the comments and say one sentence why. If you want more injury updates as they come in this week, Subscribe so we can hit 6,000 subscribers and hit the bell to lock in alerts. Next up, I'll break down the X factors and matchups you should be watching on Sunday. Don't go anywhere, all right? Time for the chess pieces and the things that can tilt the game beyond the box score. These are the X factors and matchups that could decide this one on Sunday, so pay attention. First and foremost, the red zone battle. Denver's defense is elite inside the 20. They're top of the league in red zone stops, and that's been a recurring issue for the Chiefs this year. Kansas City has to turn red zone chances into touchdowns, not field goals. If the Chiefs can flip a couple more trips into 7 points instead of 3, Denver's pass rush pressure becomes less of an immediate weapon because you're not always in must-pass situations. That's priority 1. Next, pocket integrity and Mahomes' reads. Against Buffalo, Mahomes admitted he lost his progression discipline late in the game. This week, staying true to reads under pressure is mission critical. If the offensive line, ideally with Simmons back, can hold up long enough for Mahomes to work through progression 1 to 3, you get higher percentage throws and fewer risky scrambles. So the O-line versus Denver D-line matchup is the single most influential matchup on the entire board. Speaking of Denver's front, sacks are an ever-looming problem. They're on pace for historic numbers, and that means protection schemes and quick-release passing concepts are going to be on the menu for the Chiefs. Expect Andy Reid to mix protections, slide the line, and use quick game concepts to take away the blindside heat. If Kansas City can neutralize the timed rushes with quick throws and chips from tight ends or running backs, it changes the entire flow. Now for an offensive X factor. Denver's offense has struggled with overthrows, 3 and outs, and drops. If the Chiefs' defense can create short fields, force punts, and get the ball back, this game becomes about scoring efficiency, not total yardage. Pressure on the Broncos QB to make plays will matter more if J.K. Dobbins is limited. Without a reliable run game, Denver's on-balance attack weakens. Don't sleep on situational plays. Third down conversions, red zone play calling, and turnovers. 1. Strip sack or a red zone pass that's picked off changes the narrative quickly. Special teams matter too. Last year, a blocked chip shot field goal changed the whole game. Those small details always sneak into the story. Roster note: the Chiefs added WR Jimmy Holiday to the practice squad. Likely a scout team move to mirror Denver bodies, while Denver signed Jordan Humphrey to add depth. Those moves matter if someone gets injured late in the week. Depth snaps happen fast on game day. Quick poll. For you, should the Chiefs try to run more early to control the clock and keep Denver's pass rush from teeing off? Type yes or no in the comments and tell me one reason why. If you like the tactical breakdowns, hit subscribe and help us reach 6,000 subscribers. And ring the bell so you don't miss the Friday injury report and my final game plan breakdown. Next, final keys, a prediction, and what a win means for the Chiefs' playoff path. All right, here's the final read and the clear blueprint for how the Chiefs win this one. Top keys to victory. Protect Mahomes early and often. If the O-line, with Simmons trending back in, can give Patrick a clean pocket for his first and second reads, the offense stays calm and methodical. That reduces desperation plays and cuts down on sacks and forced throws. Turn red zone chances into touchdowns. Denver is elite inside the 20. The Chiefs must convert trips into 7 points, not 3. A couple extra TDs inside the 20 flip the script and force Denver to play catch-up in ways they don't like. Win the situational battles. Third downs, 2-minute execution, and turnover avoidance are the quiet things that decide close divisional games. Don't give Denver short fields. Don't gift them turnovers. Hold your breath in the final 2 minutes and make the right calls. Mix the run to keep Denver honest. Even if Denver defends the run well, a handful of effective rushes early will change how they rush the passer and open up intermediate throws. Clock control matters, especially late. Special teams and details. Remember last season's blocked attempt? Small plays swing big games. Punt coverage, field goal opportunities, and returns could tilt momentum. Prediction: I'm calling a hard-fought road win for the Chiefs. Chiefs 24, Broncos 20. It's close, messy at times, but Mahomes finds one or two critical throws late. The O-line holds up enough, and Kansas City converts the red zone trips that mattered. What a win means. Beating. Denver on the road keeps the Chiefs very much alive in the division fight. It buys Andy Reid and this locker room momentum, and puts pressure back on the Broncos and Chargers. Lose, and you're looking at a tougher, longer road to the playoffs. That's why this game carries so much weight. It's more than one W or L. It's a directional moment for the season. Before I sign off, quick engagement. What's your final score prediction? Drop your number in the comments and say one sentence why. Also hit that like if you enjoyed the breakdown, and subscribe so we can push towards 6,000 subscribers, and hit the bell so you don't miss the Friday injury report and my final pre-game notes.